Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner, Albert Campman. Albert, tell our viewers to be on the lookout. We just completed a college basketball special. We went around the country. We looked at who had a good recruiting class, which you have to. We looked at who has a lot of people back, which you're foolish not to. But the third thing and the key thing is we looked at the portal.
Yeah, and if you're not looking at the portal, then you're not into the college basketball scene. And there's been coaching changes also, coaches moving that are really also going to help programs. And so you want to see this, you definitely want to go to YouTube. Our producer, Greg, will have it up. And you want to check out and find out who is Coach Abraham and Coach Campman picking for the NCAA tournament. Turn it on. And hopefully you'll write in to Greg or send something in to tell us what you think about our special NCAA tournament. Talking about local scene now, high school football, full blast, George.
Do we see this coming when they open the 16th?
Yeah, and that's what we had to open up with. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Ohio, but you opened up a can of worms. You opened up the 16 teams. The average score in week one, 38-7. It's supposed to be the playoffs, George. There's 10 shutouts. Teams never even crossed the goal line. Only 2 games out of 28 decided by single digits. One number 1 seed got beat, so 27 out of 28 advanced. It's just amazing how embarrassing it is. But locally, we're going to cover some teams that had a great week, starting with Southern Local, earned their first playoff win ever in the school's history with a 36-24 win over Plymouth. They moved to 8-3 on the year. Now they moved to play St. Paul, and there'll be a major underdog in that game. But they can live off that first playoff win ever. Congratulations to Southern Local. Next up was the Bray, who's a top seed. We want to talk about how they've won their 7th straight game. They are going to round 2 in Division 6. The Bray has been hot, playing great football. Aiden Stevens came through major with 3 touchdowns. 2 rushing and 1 passing. Devin Carter ran for 3 scores. Those 2 guys are a 1-2 punch that George LeBray is going to be a hard out in the tournament.
Yeah, when you see a score like that, you know, and in these smaller schools, the talent. You know, you get yourself a few nice players, you can do something.
Yeah, 48-8 win over Trinity.
Yeah, it gets my attention.
40 years ago, I coached at that school. Think about that. That's how fast the years have gone by. And a local team that's always puts up points. Girard moves on as Michael Palmer found the end zone 4 times. 49-26 score over Gilmore Academy. Girard, they can score. I mean, forever, George.
Do you remember?
They put up
this
points.
goes back. I'm going to test your memory. Right when the spread first became, it wasn't out yet.
Right.
It was just new. They were running it. We were down at Niles.
Oh, we were there.
Remember that?
Oh, yes.
Can you remember that?
Yeah, I remember like yesterday. Said,
That was
what are they doing?
Mid-90s.
Yeah, we said, what are they doing?
You
They
know,
said,
guys running all over the field,
huddle.
wide spread out.
Yes.
No,
They
no
were ahead of the
direction.
game with the spread. Now
Yeah,
everybody does it.
Yeah.
So, Girard, when they play this next playoff game, don't be surprised if you see something like 56-38 or something, because they always put up points. Also, the Salem Quakers are having some great year. Somebody's going to have trouble knocking them out. What a team they have. Blaze X-Line has put up numbers again this past week with 5 touchdowns. They remember the week before they had that heartbreaking loss to West Branch. They powered Woodbridge 48-14. They've had a great season. Their offense is great. Their defense is outstanding in Division 4. Let's see if they can keep it going, George.
No, absolutely. You know, like you say, you get a lot of these teams, they're a once every so many year team. You want to make that count because it's not easy at the littler places.
No, so you got West Branch powerful, you have LeBray powerful, you have Salem powerful, and then you have other teams that are just playing great football. When we talk about West Branch, we want to make sure we mention Steve Morris, two rushing touchdowns, and Drew DeShields threw for 3 touchdowns. Now they play Poland, George, West Branch, Poland. What a game. Poland's always a tough out, too. They've been like that forever, too, George. Since we've been over here, Poland's good in everything.
Yeah, I see the signs up in Poland. Good luck. So you know the town's involved. And I think that's important.
No, it is. And we know that in the communities in Eastern Ohio, they are really support their squads. I mean, don't be surprised when you go to a Friday night game or a Saturday night playoff game to see the stands packed. That's the way it works, and that's true, definitely true for South Range, who's having the year of all years. They come through with a 45-0 victory. After beating the crap out of Hubbard, I knew they were going to be outstanding, and so we'll watch them, number 2 ranked team in the state. We'll see what they can do and keep it rolling. We'll watch South Range closely. Springfield rolls on, 38-0 win over Western Reserve. They've not allowed a single point in the last 5 games.
Scored on 6 weeks.
How about that, George?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So we mentioned a lot of offense. We're going to mention Springfield's defense and see if they can keep that up. Good. I like teams that can win on both sides, especially on the defensive side. They will play Norway next in the quarter. Springfield is on a current 10-game win streak. Congratulations to all you local teams. Hopefully next week we have 6 more winners that move on.
We'll take them.
Yeah, we will.
Hey, let's look at the guys that, the guys are supposed to be getting paid. Let's look at Major League Baseball. Series, right now it's going at least 6. Now imagine Atlanta with a history of failure that goes back to
1995.
Smoltz.
Mm-hmm.
1 World Series after 13 divisions.
Right.
Something, it's obscene. If you're a young kid, look it up. It's awful. Now let's think about it. Up 3-1, you're at home. How can we get started? Let's hit a grand slam in the first inning. We're up 4-0. Well, this thing's over.
No, I was talking to George at the same
He
time.
said to me,
no,
he goes,
it's not even close to over.
Don't count them out.
Well, they have no pitching. I mean, when you're pitching a kid, jeez, oh man, it would have been over. It would have been over if Charlie Morton was pitching.
Charlie Morton
Oh
would
my,
deliver?
for sure.
You're a Charlie Morton
No,
guy.
he's pitched outstanding in
Yep.
the thing. Yeah, that game's over, but you don't have him. So I don't know if Atlanta win. I'll say this: I think Atlanta has to win in 6. I don't think to win Game 7.
You're about the 3rd guy I heard say it today.
Well, that's true. Max Fried, they have Max Fried going. And he's been the best pitcher.
But he wasn't any good the last time, was he?
Not bad.
Okay.
That's all you have to be is not bad. It's not like you have to be good.
I mean, we're going to talk about this. Let's do it now. Just get it out of the way. I mean, we go back to when the guy started, he finished. I get that's not always best. But this business where you don't know who's pitching tomorrow, well, he might go 1 inning. Then he comes out after an inning and a batter, and they hug him like he's going to Iraq.
Yeah. Well, Atlanta was in dire straits. When Morton went down,
Oh, yeah.
they had no idea.
But they have an excuse.
Yeah, I know they do.
You follow.
Yeah, but you don't want excuses either.
I mean, there were the Dodgers. They have $300 million payroll, and they didn't have anyone to pitch.
I know, but they lost. But see, I do. I'm really.
Scherzer, dead arm.
No, the guy who's got in trouble.
Oh, Bauer, yeah.
And Kershaw. So 2 of their top 5 pitchers are out. So they were scrap heap, but trying to find out who's going to go. So I do see the excuse.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, it's not baseball. I told you that. You can call it baseball if you want. If you're a big, I'm a baseball fanatic.
Yeah.
The game represents nothing that I grew up with.
They don't know who's pitching. Like if you ask them.
They don't know.
Now remember, Game 6, okay. Game 7, that's Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax.
Whatever, the best pitcher on your staff.
They don't know who's pitching.
Well, the other thing about this thing right now is I'll ask the people watching, who is the MVP of it? There's not one. There's not one guy playing like, wow, he's hitting 400 with 300. Every one of them stinks.
Till Correa finally hit
Well,
the
he had
ball
hit nothing though, but he had nothing
he
until that game.
Nothing.
No, but no one has. I'm saying you can't name one guy.
No, the left fielder for the Braves
He has the RBIs.
Yeah.
Think about if he wins the MVP.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to give it to somebody. They're going to have to give it to somebody.
That's what I'm saying. They are.
Yeah.
But there's no MVP in the list.
And like you said, there's no pitcher because they don't pitch long enough.
Smith might, if he gets the winning save and he gets 4 saves, and he might get it.
Yeah. Oh no.
But
No. Okay. And I wouldn't argue that.
But there's nobody. I've never seen a World ever. I'm talking about. I've been about 60 years. That going into Game 6, you're saying, who is the MVP of this
I told
thing?
him last night. I have Altuve on FanDuel, and I'm hoping he gets hot for 2 nights.
No, one night.
If he can go 3 for 5 and hit a homer and a double, I've got a shot.
No, he wouldn't win it. No, there isn't one right now. That's what I'm saying. Correa, who had no hits, could win, go next 3 games
Yeah.
and get hot. He'd be the
138.
MVP.
138.
He could be the MVP.
All
I've
right.
never seen anything like it, ever.
This term opener, could we do something with that term, please? Could you do it for me?
Well, if they had a good opener, I wouldn't mind it. They bought 2 guys up that have never pitched.
Yeah. Oh no, no. Biggest game of their life. And thing we have to know, Houston. Not that they can't hit in a row, but they hit at home.
Oh, they could hit. They always could hit. That's one thing about Houston.
You know what they did do that could be? I don't know how I would look at this. They left a lot of guys on.
No,
now, does that mean they will, or does that mean they're due to knock them in?
Well, you can say it either way. It depends who they're batting against, I think. Like they were batting against minor leaguers. I mean, it's amazing that you have minor league pitchers pitching in Game 5, and then they brought in the bullpen who's worn out. Both teams worn out. Both teams' bullpens are worn out. I don't know which one's gonna implode, but they're all pitching way more than they pitched all year. We'll see if that plays a part in it also.
This is a guess. 7 games.
Well, if it's going to 7 games, Houston's winning. I mean, there's no question in my mind.
I see a repeat of the Cubs.
Yeah, it could happen for sure.
Let's talk NCAA football. Guy calls our radio show Saturday, and he's an Ohio State guy, and he knows his stuff, but he's a buck nuts
right.
lover.
He loves Ohio State, right?
Which is fine. And Al says to him, he says, I was thinking about this, and then I mentioned who you beat. Akron, Rutgers, Maryland. And I got to thinking, they haven't beaten anybody.
No, they played.
And Penn State gave them all they wanted.
Penn State could have won the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they could have won the game. They didn't win the game.
But in Ohio State's credit.
Yeah, Ohio State, the running back's just a little better than anybody on the field. They Henderson kid. That's why you recruit. But other than that, that game was a toss-up. If you watch the game, there was nothing in that game.
If you took the 17.5, you never worried.
Yeah, I never thought that.
Right?
Never thought that Ohio State was going to run away with that game. I thought it could have ended up 1-point game at any time. But Ohio State's talent won out. That's what happened. That's what they have. But they move on, and that win will be a big win for them as they try to get into their Final Four.
Let's talk about the rest of the league. Flip the game on. You know how you do on Saturday. They're down 16, Michigan State. I said I was wrong. I was wrong because I had told you. I said I like Michigan State. I like rooting against Harbaugh. I don't know why. I said I like Michigan State. I said, oh man, Albert, I go back in the den. I'm messing around. I'm doing some things. I look because I'm looking up some scores earlier. All of a sudden, and it's one of them where it flashes. I knew what happened. They scored. And son of a gun, if Michigan State didn't come back and win that game.
Yeah, you can't put a reason on it either. There's nothing you say that maybe they had the best player on the field too. Walker could have been.
Hey, 500 yards Michigan had.
You
can't say they didn't move the ball.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You can't figure it out. But Michigan State, I said that on Saturday. I don't know how they're winning, but they are. And
You're right.
That's all you can say.
And Harbaugh's resume against top teams is just abysmal.
Yeah, they couldn't get that. Yeah, and I watched a lot of that when I saw nothing they did wrong. So it's
and I think Tucker is going to be a top candidate for LSU for certain.
Yeah, he's from there. That's where he's from. So that's.
He's getting at that. I want to say it here?
Yeah, I think he would be too. I think so.
You want to say it here? I'll say it.
Yeah.
Okay, he's getting it. It's amazing. Now, here's a team. No, they're not talking about them, but they're in your mind. OKLAHOMA. They're still undefeated. However close, whatever quarterback, whatever they have done in the past, if they go 12-0 and they beat that same team again, whether it be Baylor or Oak State or whomever, they're going to get in.
Yeah, there's a good chance they can get in. I don't think they'll go 12-0. We'll see if they will.
Well, undefeated, but can we agree on this? If they lose one, they won't.
Yes. Okay. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think they're going to go undefeated. We'll see. Quarterback change seems to spark them. Seems to make him. Williams seems like
he's one of those squirt around guys, isn't he?
Played a little better. He can throw and run.
Where will Rattler end
up? Well, as I said, when you beat Texas Tech, you're not beating anybody.
Hey,
so
Rattler.
He's gone someplace. I don't know where he's going, but he's gone.
There's some stuff going on as we speak.
Yeah. Oh, yes, for sure. I don't think he ends up.
I think he might be driving another Jeep.
I think he'll end up in Texas. That's what I think.
Hey, Cincinnati better watch. The rankings come out this week, by the way, for the first time. They've had back-to-back. Now, remember, They're so good, we're calling 17-point games close. But the last 2 weeks, Tulsa and Navy have given them all they wanted.
Yeah, I could never put them, never rank them. I
After
could never
that.
watch them play against these lousy teams. They're not even close. In my mind, if Ohio State's ready to play that day and play Cincinnati, it's a rout. And it's not going to be like a bowl game where teams don't get ready. This will be the playoffs.
Yeah, this isn't like last year, 8 of Georgia's guys
They
didn't
struggle
play.
with Tulsa and Navy.
Oh,
you understand
is
what
Tulsa lousy?
those top teams would do to
Oh,
those
it's Tulsa
teams.
lousy. I
So is
watched them
Navy.
the other day. Oh
my gosh.
my gosh, are they?
Yeah, that's what I said. That'd be interesting.
No, it's not.
Georgia's
happening.
team is playing them this week. We're going to find out. George called this a long time ago.
Yes.
Said SMU will beat them.
Before they got beat on a 100-yard kick return.
Yeah, they just don't defend. I mean, it's hard
No,
for me
it's
to.
81-80. No, they have to
SMU
beat
doesn't
you
defend.
81-80.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And it's like you said, it's not good. Now, here's one with ramifications. Georgia handles Florida. I don't know that he's going to last the year. They went from loving him down there, the Florida coach. He canceled all media requests the rest of the year.
Did he?
He's hunkering down, and I think it's going to cost him.
Yeah, I know somebody will jump on him in a hurry. And
Yeah.
He won't be out of a job long.
Mullen, he's
Oh
known to be
no,
a
if he
little
does, he'll
goofy.
get the LSU job. No, if Florida,
No,
if Florida gets rid of him,
not now.
you don't think not now?
He's losing. I listen. I watch Feinbaum 15, 20 hours a week.
Okay.
His reputation in that Southeastern Conference, maybe not justly, has really taken a hit the last few weeks. I think he's 2-7 in his last so many games versus Power 5.
Gotcha.
And you know what have I always said to you about the one job, but I think 8 wins is automatic.
Right.
It's Florida. But we'll see. You may know. Hey, scoring flurry before the half. It was 3-0 forever.
That's Georgia, though. That's Georgia. They're winning
Yeah.
on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
They're not. So if you're looking at Georgia as like a juggernaut offensively,
And nobody does
they're
that.
just good
Does
offensively.
anybody else do that?
They are great defensively.
And
Not
here's the
good.
one I watched personally. Fresno, they beat San Diego State with ease. They are a good team.
I didn't think either one of them were real good, but I never thought San Diego State was real good.
They beat they've beaten Oregon, right?
Fres-
Was it Fresno? No, they gave them a ball game.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
they
I think both of them are just decent.
Yeah. West Virginia had a nice win, but Iowa State, we had big expectations. Everyone had that coach coaching everywhere but Iowa State. Maybe that's a problem.
Yeah. He'll be next coach of one of these places too. No question.
They
he'll
upped
get a
the ante
job.
though. He's getting paid.
Yeah, he's gonna get one of these jobs also. As we're talking about Campbell from
He's not had a
from
good-
Mount Union.
He's not had a good year.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I see the expectations at Iowa State.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, it's not.
Georgia State didn't have a good year. Iowa State, if they would have won 8 games.
But going in, compared to what they
no,
thought,
no, but the
they were picking
expectations-
them to beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was too. But I'm saying to you, 4 or 5 years ago, you said Iowa State's going to have
Oh, no.
a bad year winning
No.
8 games.
No,
That's what happens.
Yeah.
And it's happening all over the country.
Victim of his own.
Like the coach of Mullen. Mullen is not a good coach. He's a great coach. And I watch his teams play.
Oh, Mississippi State.
No. And Florida's been terrific. I mean, these are great.
You see, you're getting compared to what's happening. See,
And Alabama,
They get
that's
all,
all.
well, now Georgia.
Now Georgia's out there
See
too,
that
right.
Georgia, Florida, that world's largest cocktail party.
Yes.
They're all looking and saying,
Yeah,
why don't we
exactly.
have guys like that?
Right.
Why don't we have guys
Good
like
point.
that? And believe me, they're not that easy to get. Now Pitt, if you had a history book and you went back 30 years, say 1990. You said, okay, Al, what do you expect them from Pitt? You'd say 7-5, 8-4, right when they had a chance to step up. Now, they've been beaten. I won't call Miami a lightweight. That's not fair. But Western Michigan is, and both games were at home.
Yeah, and
You don't beat Penn State like that at home.
Once again, the expectations are too high for Pitt, and that's because they have a great quarterback. But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, they don't have great players on that field. There's not anybody on that field that say, "Oh, they're better than Miami, Florida." They were better at one position, and it's hard. And he did.
Mm-hmm. And they got a new quarterback.
500 yards. They just can't stop anybody who has a
But
good
what's their
offense.
coach known for?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter today.
Defense.
It means nothing unless you have Georgia talent. There's nobody stopping anybody.
No, he doesn't stop.
No one.
He
does.
gives,
No.
He's 30,
Like
40
Michigan
points.
State. Think of that. Remember, they're known for rough top.
Yeah.
What was the score?
Yeah. 500
33-30.
500 yards.
Yeah, that's the way the game's
Hey,
played.
Whiskey beat Iowa. That western side, you've got Iowa, Wisconsin. I mean, these teams are tough, but they don't
They aren't any
scare
good.
anybody.
No, they're not any good.
They don't scare. Whiskey's
Wisconsin-
caught fire a little bit.
When,
I mean, really have.
think about your caught fire. They struggle with Army.
Yeah.
They struggle.
But they've
No,
beaten
how
Iowa and
they
they've
do
beaten
it, though.
Purdue. Yeah, I mean the Purdue game. Purdue was coming off that huge win over Iowa.
Wisconsin's just one of those teams that can win 10-7. They somehow get it done. When George said catches fire, they are a team. They are a team. They'll win their 8-9 games.
So is Iowa State going to murder that?
Murder them. No, it's not even a game. Murder.
Not even.
Murder.
You couldn't make a line on it.
No, like they do every year in that thing.
No, that's true.
Yes.
ACC has one undefeated team. Let me say you, the question is this. Will they stay unbeaten? And part B is, if they stay unbeaten, will they get invited to the dance? Because we know Clemson was automatically in.
Yeah, they will stay unbeaten but not get invited to the
No!
Yeah, Wake Forest, I can never
No.
take them. They struggle beating Syracuse. I
No.
just know too many of the teams. Wake Forest line up with Alabama. No, I'm not joking. Wake Forest might score 30. Alabama would have 75 points against Wake Forest's defense.
The Army scored 56. They scored 70. Hey, the Clemson game, you know this is coming. That crazy throw the ball back lateral nonsense, which affected the over-under, and it made the game. They don't kick the point.
That's interesting, huh?
It would have affected it. And also now these guys sliding down when they get the first down.
Change some of the things, right?
There's a new vogue there as far as that. Home teams in the SEC, Mississippi State, I saw that coming. Auburn, I did see those games coming. You get these small dogs or small favorites at home on a Saturday night, they're pretty golden.
They are good.
Let's talk about pros because our local teams played Browns and Steelers. If I said draw up how the Steelers will win, you'd have said, well, rough, tough game, hold the Browns to 94 yards rushing, rush for 100 themselves, low score, boom.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to do that. So
No.
give them credit. They've got better, and they've got better on the offensive line. To give them credit, their offensive line really got made fun of all year. They're running the football much better with
Najee Harris.
Yeah, with Harris. Yeah.
How about the big diesel for Tennessee? They think they're shutting them down for the year.
Oh, yes, he's out for the year. I
Almost
heard it coming
started
in.
crying. There goes my Tennessee game. I'll be lucky to get 9 wins now.
Yeah,
But they do have other players.
They're fine. They already got 6, don't they? 6 or 7 already.
Yeah, they got. I mean, something would have to go nuts.
Yeah.
But that happens. Mayfield played. He looked. I don't know what. He just didn't look. He's hurt. Put it that way. How hurt? I don't know. Would you have played him, or would you?
If he was giving the doctor okay, I'd play him.
You got.
I'm thinking they must have said.
Now,
he's
is it
okay.
me or do those Brown receivers? Now, I know we have a guy who listens to our radio show. He texted me. He said he'd like to sell Beckham Jr. He'd like to buy him for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks. Didn't Landry drop one yesterday?
He never usually doesn't. He usually doesn't.
No.
drop anything. No, he doesn't.
No, and the Jets. Someone
NFL.
forgot to tell the Bengals. See, the Bengals were the best team. Did you know they were the best team? And Burrow was better and all this stuff a week
NFL.
ago.
We know that. We know it's
And
the
I
NFL.
looked, I said, can they beat them? I said, I don't know. You know, the Jets are going very the backup. Ask Bengals now.
It's the NFL every week.
They're gone. Detroit
Detroit had the Baltimore beat except for a 66-yard field goal. It's just, you never know what's going to happen in
And
the
we
NFL.
said the Titans with a 3-game lead over Indy, they should be able to hold it. You know, Houston and Jacksonville aren't helping.
No, they're lousy.
Seattle pounded Jacksonville.
Yep, Seattle played good defense. That's what they did in that game.
And here's a shootout. Would you have expected a shootout, New England and the Chargers?
I think you have to play that way against the Chargers.
You can't beat them 10-7?
Yeah, they're going to score some points. So that's a good win for New England.
Interesting. Carolina snapped back. They had lost 1-3, lost 4. They snapped
It's
back.
NFL again. That's
They
the
need
NFL.
to, they're missing Run CMC. That's who
Yeah,
they're
you
missing.
lose that kind of players, no
Yeah,
question.
Denver
Yep.
broke their losing streak. I watched that. Let's get a nickname. This Washington football team. Let's call them the Senators or something. I'm tired of this football team. Garbage. Washington came into the league with promise, and, man, they're leaving on a jet
Yeah, they're struggling
plane.
this year. Yep, they are struggling.
Dallas with the backup quarter. If you'd asked me, if you'd have said, look, what do you know about, what's his name, Cooper somebody? Cooper to Cooper. First time ever in the history, NFL, Cooper Rush to Cooper winning touchdown. If you'd have told me they could win in Minnesota without their starter, and I knew he wasn't playing, I could read the tea leaves early in the week. Then I watched that line move and thought,
he wasn't playing. Yeah, he wasn't
Dak's
playing.
not playing.
He wasn't playing.
How about that? But the bottom line was, they beat them. What do you say? I mean, they won them with their backup.
Minnesota's not any good. That's why.
No.
I mean, it's really simple.
I'm tired of that. Cousins has made more money than Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, so so
My
Minnesota's
God.
not any good. They're just a mediocre team.
Yeah.
And
How about Tampa at New Orleans? That's 3 straight during the year.
yeah, that's
You see anything there?
yeah. I see the playoffs. That's why I look at it. Brady's in the playoffs. Then let's beat them. Then don't win regular season games. Win the playoff games.
NCAA hoops start next week. We had our special. We've talked about it. You and I would both like to see the season pushed back to Thanksgiving, open up with tournaments that weekend.
I like all sports.
Yeah,
They
they're
push
just
back.
too
It's
fast,
just too crazy,
too many.
too long.
NBA hoops, it's way too early. We've got a few minutes left here to talk about the NBA. Simmons still hasn't been traded. He's hurting his value with this pouting. People look and go, I don't want that. I'm not buying that.
I wouldn't want it either, that's for sure.
And then something happened the other night that hadn't happened before. The Lakers blew a 26-point lead at pitiful Oak City. Now, if they did that at Miami, or they did it at Utah, I wouldn't be surprised. But, man, to do it at OKC, something not right there.
Yep, the NBA.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I saw an interesting stat. They're shooting threes at a pace that has never been seen. And guess what else? You want to hear Plan B? They're missing them at a rate no one has ever seen.
Well, the reason is that there's guys shooting them that shouldn't be shooting them. And nobody practices twos anymore.
I got you.
Nobody. I
I
mean,
got
I'm talking about you don't see it.
No,
you
they
don't
don't
see
shoot.
it.
No, you don't see many
it.
twos.
No. You shoot threes or layups. That's
All right.
That's all you
Now,
see.
Albert the other day, Albert was thinking of how Goodell was such a nice guy. He's so generous that he had given back his salary one year. And then
The COVID salary,
Then
yes.
you found out that he made $67 million on the side.
On the side. Think of that. He's in the top 5 of CEOs in the world. Not
Yeah, he
just the
makes
United
more than
States.
all the players. All the players.
All the players.
NHL, going through some scandals. You have to flush this out. You got to get anyone that was involved with that sexual abuse thing, and they can never be in this league.
They're getting them too, one by one. They're getting them all. In today's 2021.
And we talk about
they're
refs
getting them.
calls with football. Worst year I've ever seen. I don't know if they're having a bad year. I'm noticing it more, but it's bad.
Well, I've said that all along. The refs are involved in the games too much.
And here's one more thing. And I'll argue this. You get me the commissioner, and I want to talk to him. Tell me what a check swing is. Tell me right now, because some of the umps look down, some of them don't. Some of it do them themselves. Someone asks for help. I've seen the wrist break.
That's a judgment call. Yeah,
I've seen it not break. I've seen the bat come through the strike zone. I've seen the bat not come through the strike zone.
Yep, judgment call all the way. And anytime you have judgment calls, that's what it's going to be. And I like it. I don't want
Robots
doing the games. It's supposed to be. There's supposed to be missed calls. There's supposed to be coaches run out of the dugouts. That's gone now. They go to that replay and look.
Was he safe? No,
Yeah,
stay
I don't
in
want to
there.
see. I don't want to see
Hey,
that.
two big jobs in the NCAA, LSU and USC, two of the biggest in the country.
Yep, there's no question. There's going to be some big time names going for those jobs, and we're going to be interested to see who fills their jobs when they leave.
No, that's another
Yeah,
thing.
this is gonna happen.
What's wrong with the Penn State job?
That's what's going to
Or
happen.
What's
yes.
wrong with the Michigan State job?
Right.
Hey, we got a minute. The Heisman Trophy. You and I have talked about it. I remember looking early. I liked Sam Howell. Sam Howell's played himself out of it. Spencer Rattler doesn't start anymore. Will they give it to a freshman? I know they probably don't want to, but it's almost like everyone else is eliminating themselves because when Alabama loses, everybody makes excuses for them and it doesn't hurt them.
Yeah, now the last thing is what you said. There's two quarterbacks, Pitt and Corral, who deserve it, but their teams lost. And so I'd be interested to see what they do with the teams losing compared to how the quarterback played. We'll see if that works
It's really not, like you guys said last night, it's not Pickett's fault. Their defense gave up 500 yards.
He threw for 500 yards in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.